Da, 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 da.
Do you think the
There you
artist
go.
has done this other people?
That, I believe, is the full thread, and I've just put it in the chat for
Oh,
you.
asking for nudes?
Yeah.
Yep,
That's
you're on your main channel.
yes, I absolutely am. I am absolutely on the main channel. Let's tweet this out real quick.
Alright, I'll put it in Senate. Wow. Senate's the new limbo.
Eh? It is what it is, man.
I love that you spelled it followers.
Okay, 1 second.
He's been doing that for fucking ever.
Ah, Jesus, there, saved. Thank you, princess. Anyways.
It follows.
Oh. Well, there goes any chance of having a serious thing of reaching out to this guy. Well, easy come, easy go. Tweets and
Fuck.
replies, and we'll...
We were bullying you, Anthony.
Yeah, I know. I got it. Copy, link, location. Throw this bitch in the room, and then I'll throw it in fucking Senate. 1 second. Where the fuck is it?
I threw it in Senate and Limbo Discord already.
Alright, fantastic. Alright.
You left the same. You left the same mistake in the title.
I thought I just changed the title.
Hellos.
Yeah, FA.
That's the,
It was O.
no, it was already A.
So it's right or not?
It's not right.
I had an O, and now I switched to an A. Now you're telling me it's wrong, right?
I didn't see an O before.
Oh my god! Here, I'm gonna hit undo. Let's see where the fuck. Oh, it doesn't offer. Okay, fantastic. I'll switch it. Oh my god, damn! You are my little cancer. Holy shit!
My
There.
little cancer.
Yeah.
My little cancer.
All right. So here, so I can keep an eye on the chat periodically. Hello, people.
Anthony, could you kick Bubba so Hate can join us?
Oh, certainly. I'd be glad to. I think. Which one is that? Disturbed Wolf.
Yep.
Okay, bunk. Okay.
Yeah.
So, for everybody coming along, I guess I'll switch the screen over to fucking Discord.
Hey, Hate.
Motherfucker.
Alright, everyone. We got a new friend joining us. We got Monstrous.
Properties. Yes, Monstrous is cool people. And here's
Woo.
Woo indeed. And much rejoice was had. Woo. So
Just remember, I did 9/11. Thank you.
I guess we'll read off the statement first. Bunk.
Very long statement, so everyone just strap in.
Okay. So, hello, it's yet another surprise. I'm sure a lot of you have heard the recent thread on me. This is from Ink on Twitter. Link in the description. I'd like to make some clarifications of this statement is regarding a sexual charged conversation with another individual I had on Discord. We will be sharing our thoughts on that whole situation. This topic was brought to the light by someone on Twitter called @RenHeox. Is I'm saying that right? Renix? Close enough. Someone who
I've
is-
never heard. So I don't know.
Okay, who is friends with the person I interacted with. As a preface, this person in question has asked me on his alt a while back if it would be okay with me doing not safe for work commission, and I replied, yeah, but I'd have to change a bunch about a normal commission, I guess. So basically they're being upcharged for not safe for work. Sounds standard. Fast forward to now the same person comes to me and asks if the commission would still be on the table. The person offers 200, is that euro?
Oh, it's pounds.
I believe that's pounds. Yeah.
Okay, pounds, to draw my own character in not safe for work settings. I agree. In my opinion, that much money to draw my own character is an obvious decision. I received the money to see that this PayPal icon is that of Rek, who was taken. Someone that I recognized from the Discord server. I say to him, you could have just told me it was you, dude. It's fine. He responds telling me not to tell anyone about his alt account. well, that's a... I'm going to worry. You have to consider that thought off of buying off of this person. I agree, since we both maturely decide to keep each secret and mine giving the commission. Him being the alt. The first commission goes fine without an issue, and then somehow the conversation of random dicks pics is brought up. How
Randomly.
somehow? What was the allegation? Because this guy just goes somehow. Does the other person actually spell that out?
I don't know. I didn't check their Twitter. This was just linked to me earlier. I read through it, and I only went off of their statement because I figured that's the best. No bias there.
grab it.
That was just
Yeah. Quick question though. The other person privated as well, right?
No, they're open publicly.
Oh, well, we will be able to grab their statement as well, right?
I'm looking for it now.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah, that would be great.
Excellent. I'd say, nah, I don't really care about receiving them. And then Reiku responds asking if I'd also like to see I go sure, with the mutual
go.
consent that he sends 2 not safe for work images of himself. I'm not familiar with artists charging from nudes from their clients.
That's
That-
not a thing.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
think it was just, do you want to get dick pics? And he's like, sure, man, I'd like to get
Oh
some dick pics.
wow. Okay, so go to this kid's thing. You have to scroll up because there are multiple posts, but this kid provides screenshots of their conversation.
Okay, should we finish this or go to that?
Oh, I think it'd be good to know.
Finish
Whatever
this
everyone
and
Yeah,
get
I agree with Hate.
context.
I don't want to
Okay.
Get
whipped.
context, and if we find any
Yeah, let's-
contradictions,
We may not know who's the dirtbag here, people. We do know that supposedly, potentially illegal things were sent one way or another. Later on, Reiku, that's the buyer, wants to get another commission. For clarification, the original price was £200, but I lowered it to 150 since I trusted him more. Had nothing to do with the dick. And then lowered it to £100 because he thought that he wouldn't have that much money left over after the commissioning me. On his second commission, I say, hey, it's going to be a repeat thing. I'm going to up the price if you said you're willing to pay that much. Now, for the record, yeah, artists can do that at will. There's nothing really dirty about that. Not the porn stuff. I mean, you make up your own mind there. I'm just winging about the price range. Reiku says, but did you did it for 100 before? Why did you up it now? This is the main issue comes up. In a idiotic way, I offer him the opportunity instead to take a not safe for work video of himself as an alternative. He consents to the idea, but then starts to worry and says, no, actually, that's a bad idea. I'm not going to have you do that. Let's just settle for £125. After taking a step back, I realized that asking that of someone and doing not safe for work commissions is a huge overstep, and I say to him, listen, I don't want to do this anymore, and I'd rather we start fresh. I can acknowledge that me acting this way and asking that of someone was incredibly wrong. I don't know what I was thinking, but there was a mutual consent, and I was willing to go through with the idea. Reiku then starts talking about the whole what happens if he went public with the information. Nah, I don't like the whole blackmail idea here. I realized that how deep I've actually gotten and how much I've fucked up. At the end of the day, I don't want to talk to you anymore. This is a bad idea. I feel like I'm being held hostage. Totally looks like that too. So this is the preface now from what's going on. Renhix makes a tweet regarding this. We'll get to that in a minute. Everything that has happened, yes. However, there are some misconceptions. Both parties mutually consented to what was taking place. While boundaries were overstepped, I never intended to make someone uncomfortable. My suggestions of not safe for work videos was swiftly taken back as I offered it. The third call is Reiku is a minor, making people think that he is younger than me. He is not. Reiku is my age. Now, they're both 17, if I'm led to believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's still are they
still CP.
Yeah, well, is it CP in England?
Well, the dick pics, the
It
dick
is.
pics are.
It's still considered child pornography.
All right.
I actually want to just point something out real quick. That point number 2 they put in is actually a lie by their own statement. If you look back, they were willing to go through with it, and the other person actually agreed with it. They didn't actually retract it until the other person said, "Wait, let's not do that. That's wrong." So that whole statement of I quit, I immediately retracted it. That's just a lie. But even on their own statement here.
Well, again, prefixed. I'm not a lawyer, but as I understand it, solicitation of child pornography is likely illegal. Do I think that a 17-year-old needs to go to prison for asking another 17-year-old who was cool with the whole situation? I mean, I think they both should be called out for it. They should stop doing that immediately.
Well,
yeah.
I understand.
It's
That's
worse
not the-
because it's a business thing.
That's just not the point that I was addressing. I'm just addressing in their own statement where
Yeah.
they've themselves almost immediately. Their story doesn't add up.
Okay. And for the record, if anyone says, what about the legality of the contract? You can't have a legal contract about anything illegal. So any art agreement you guys have would be likely null and void. In this scenario, yes, I screwed up and hurt people. I guess we'll get to that. It's one of the biggest fuck-ups because I actually hurt someone I knew, but you deserve the full context and not omitted details. This is one situation where I definitely don't deserve forgiveness. If you understand that what has happened, although morally wrong, was consensual and I never ended up hurting any harm to anyone. Thank you to those who read all this and form an unbiased opinion on me. What you have seen, and again, I'm sorry to those who I've hurt and to those who thought better of me. I haven't had any experience with ink, so I can't tell you what I thought better, but I have never in my entire life heard of, give me some nudes, we'll knock about $25 off, or whatever the pound conversion is. Let's say like $35. So let's see. Scrolling down to how safe is Sarah's Sharb's Twitter here? Or just read this
The
post.
post is okay. I didn't go to their actual full Twitter,
All right.
but that's the full post of everything.
So I'm cool to click on this specific link.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me switch over to Twitter.
God, everyone just keeps... Guys.
Why are they bugging you?
No, don't worry about it.
Okay. What I'm going to be writing here is extremely serious and involves talk about sexual assault and minors. If you're here for my games, then feel free to disregard this thread, but I'm a fairly decent platform and one of my friends has recently experienced something really bad. One sec. There it is. Okay.
Anthony, we can't see Twitter.
Oh, 1 second. Did it load yet?
Yep.
Okay. First, this is not a call-out post. This is a call to help. I know people usually get angry and make angry-filled comments, but I'm asking if you know the person involved, I want you to reach out to them and help them before they hurt someone else. Don't harass them. Okay. If you're friends with Inkplasm, you care about them, then you should read this full thread, especially if you can, and confront them out of this. They're underage and keep digging themselves into deeper holes. Okay, well, good thing I'm waiting to hear to comment. If you don't already know, Ink has a history of lying about his age to get into R18 sites, and serves my experience that this was something that happened to my girlfriend a few years ago. After what's happened to my friend recently, I don't think anyone stopped this behavior. Okay, I am choosing to keep my friend's identity anonymous because they are also underage. Well, whoops. I don't want them to have to deal with this any more than they already have. Well, to be fair, that was already shared on a Twitter account that had 60,000 followers, so that was no longer private by the time we read it off.
The day after.
Yes, they told me they want to put the past behind them and be better, and I'm helping them through that. Okay, so we actually have the legit screenshots. This is going to be fun. So as far as that happened, about 4 days ago, Inkplasm was talking to my friend about not safe for work commissions, and told them that they were raising the price from 100 to 150. They would lower it back down, and my friend sent a video of them exposing themselves in public in real life. Why in public?
Why?
I don't know. In other methods, though, if you want, could go to 125. If you want, I can go 100 pounds still, and a vid of you jacking off in public or something like that. That's more your style. Like, I'll take the dick payment. Why the public thing? That's always made me thought. I'm like, that's wait. Why me jacking?
Make sure you click the image and read all of because it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't show all of them.
Twitter cropping and shit. Yeah.
Why we're jacking off? Just kind of stuff like IG, because that is a tall order. Like just outside, about obviously not somewhere else crowded. Here, let me just add this to the description. Edit video. Why is it not what I need it to be? Video details. Here we go. Perfect.
This is Inkplasm for the person asking.
Yes. 1 second. Response to ink plasm can be found here. Paste and save. All right, back to Twitter. Oh, where the hell did it go? Oh, you know what? I'll just go to your thing again. There we are. Let's see, how far down are we? Oh yeah, we're here. Just outside, about obviously not somewhere crowded, with my dick out. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know where I could really do that besides just outside my house. I can have it be 150 or 100 or a video. Okay, Jesus. He realized he fucked up by asking someone to do, and he also knows my friend is underage. I'll get to that later on. He started to delete the post before asking if they were okay with trying to forget it happened. Does anyone want to weigh in on the so far in the story? Because my brain shut off.
It's not lining up. Like, the screenshots they're showing is not lining up to what the guy said actually happened.
Yeah, well,
They don't.
the good news is, from what I understand, is that they're still saying Ink is underage for his sake, because it's a lot less creepier that it's a dumb kid asking to do the wrong thing versus an adult creeping on a minor. So that's the only really good news that I see so far for Ink. However, Ink, if these screenshots are legit, I haven't seen you try to refute them or not. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. So yeah, someone feel free to politely send these to Ink and ask, hey, what's different here? First time was just cheaper because, again, this is a riskier stuff. It's just, wait, that doesn't make sense either. Wouldn't it cost
So
more?
they're asking for porn the first time that they're taking the commissions from this person?
I guess it's just
Yeah, they got, so the first time they took commissions from this person,
They asked for dick pics.
no, the person sent them dick pics.
That's
He
right.
claims we don't have any screenshots of that, and I prefer not to.
Yeah, I don't want to. I didn't want their dick, even if it was of age. So, oh wait, why me jacking off about? Did we ever do this? Oh yeah, no. This is just showing that there was a bunch of things deleted. Okay, got it. Let's get to this next part here. Just the way possible. I can't continue this stuff morally. I hope you understand. Ink. I want it to be clear. Everything up. Would you be okay with just wiping the DMs? I'll do the same on my end. Okay. He really.
Well, one thing I'd like to weigh in on is the fact that this person who's claiming to be the victim goes out of their way to say something to the effect of, well, what if this information got out? Like, that's not okay. You're trying to blackmail somebody. I don't agree with that. I also don't agree with child pornography being distributed in payment for art. You're an artist. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, it's not
hate
even
to
payment. I believe the context was you do this, you get a discount.
It's partial.
I have to interject. I can understand why the person asked. They asked after this dude was already started deleting all his messages.
Well, I want
Of course,
to.
we're going to be a little suspicious of that.
It's not a little suspicious; it's a lot suspicious because
I missed.
he's basically asking for a cover up here.
Well,
Yeah, and so the
real
kid going,
quick,
well, what would happen if this got out? Like, it's a legit question to ask.
real quick. I've read through all the screenshots there already. You just need to get a little let Anthony get a little bit further, because you're gonna find out it doesn't look a lot like blackmail. It looks more like Ink trying to manipulate him into not talking about this to anyone.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
at this point in the conversation, Ink told my friend he could help them if people could find out that they weren't telling people the truth about their age. All I have is this quote, and I believe he deleted the post before he could have had it screen capped. Because right now, you're scaring me, and it's better than that. Do you really want to keep blank a secret and trying to find someone? So, Sharp here makes the remark that Ink Plasma has been doing this for some time. If Ink Plasma has basically solicited you for dick pics or something like that, and you feel comfortable sharing, or maybe Ink's given you a little bit of the business, encouraged you to shut up, we could help you with that. I was told that this Inc. pretended nothing happened and then offered to do a gift not safe for work piece. OOT, what's that?
Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
These are all Legend of Zelda games. He's building. It looks like, based I've read through the screenshot, building some kind of rapport and then bribing with an NSFW piece at the end.
Unpopular opinion. It's better than Twilight. Oh, definitely. Tell me about it, dude. Blah 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 blah. Shit. Would you just not safe for work pictures as a gift if you want? All right.
This looks like a really heavy manipulation tactic.
I mean, if they're the same age. At this point, he says that if he finds out that they came forward about what happened, he would have lost the opportunity for more commissions, saying it would be the best for both of them if my friend stayed quiet. Otherwise, he would be harassed by his fans. Okay, that's a little well, that's very no bueno. Based on you, who cares, to be honest? I do. Well, thanks. I am curious, what would happen if any of this happened between us went public? That could be inferred a couple of ways. I don't know. I'm not sure I'd be in trouble for both of us. It's just a shit better left avoided. I see. Like I said, the longer things stay private and contained, the more opportunities open up in terms of art commissions. Alright, let's see this next one. So, if I could be honest, I could call you out even if I wanted to. I couldn't call you out even if I wanted to. What do you mean? Your fans would go rabid on me and tackle me, most likely, which is why I said we should just be quiet, lol. It'd be the best for both of us.
I know.
Again, if these are two 17-year-olds, you could infer that depending on his tone, maybe he is just like, wow, we fucked up and we should stop.
Well, I'll agree with Gilded. It's not sound like blackmail. It sounds like he's making threats.
Well, the other kid was the one who kind of mentioned it first. He
brought it up, but he's like, yeah, man, if you do this, the dogs, the eagles are going to be circling you, man.
Yeah, like, Ink could have been like, no, if I wouldn't, Ink could have been like, look, I would tell them, I would try and get them not to, instead of being like, no, you shouldn't, because, yeah, they would. He reinforces the idea.
Well, I mean, let's also not forget that this would probably be also out of his control. He can't control his fans. But
nobody
did. Well,
yeah.
I'll give credit to this fact. He did give his fans a name. That's the thing.
Well, here's my question on that for Ink Plasma. I mean, do they have a history of sending their fans after people that give them trouble? Because if the answer is no, I'd give them the benefit of the doubt.
I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems like scorched earth tactics to me. It's like, you fuck with me, I fuck with you.
Yeah, this is just mutual assured destruction. I mean, the Soviet Union and the USA tried that once.
Yeah, I'm listening to both of them. It feels a little, I wouldn't say entirely one-sided. It's not like the guy basically said, you better keep your fucking mouth shut, bud.
It seems like he heavily implied that he should. It was in his best interest.
Hey, just between you and me, what if I did talk kind of sounds like an implication as far as I'm concerned?
I think he's just someone asking, well, you've obviously deleted all the stuff and want me to delete it and cover it up. Why? What could happen if this got out? As a child, they're going to be curious and go, okay, why are you doing this?
But they're both 17. You can't play the child card.
Oh, real quick, Anthony. The other thing is earlier in one of the screenshot right before that one, he talks about the longer things stay private and contain, the more opportunities open up in terms of art or commissions. And to me, that sounds a lot like he's like, hey, if you stay quiet, I might, do some
more good things
or stuff for you as a bonus, So just keep your mouth shut, and maybe you'll get some benefit out of this.
An example would be like, you're right, they're both the same age, so we're not taking the child card completely out of it. So an example of this would be like, let's say somebody tried to solicit me for something that was illegal.
Okay.
And I was not comfortable with that, and they knew that it was illegal at the time, and they were just like, okay, well, scrap that, let's start fresh, kind of thing. If you look at all these let's say conversations happen between me and that person, similarly to all of these, it would look a lot like if I started asking the question, like, what would happen if this came out? Yeah, sure, maybe that could be taken as a threat. But also, like, when you look at all of this shit, if everything else played out exactly the same, it looks like at that point I'm already being offered something, a sort of hush money kind of thing, like, oh, I can give you a free piece just to make things better kind of thing, smooth things over. At that point, they know they're in trouble and they want this person to shut
I get that too, but how often do we go after people for bribes?
Well,
to me, it's not the same ballpark, simply because it's one of the things where it's like, they even still, yeah, they're both 17, but they were still willing to accept child pornography as a payment.
Oh
method.
yeah, no, like again.
Well, no, let's not.
I'm not
forget,
like
let's not
writing
even-
that off. Like I'm totally like, look, both of these people fucked up. Their kids like, Sharp is like the kid. They'd like to just walk away from it. Well, they kind of don't, Sharp. They put their nudes out there. They how do I put this? They distributed child pornography. They don't get to just walk away from it.
Well, here's my other thing. Let's if we take the child aspect out, because let's say they're both 17,
Yeah.
and Inc. is still trying to solicit an illegal video. Even if they're both 18, this would be an illegal video because of the fact that he wants him to do it in public. And in public, shit happens. This other person, for all we know, could have, went and did this video. And what happens if a 14-year-old comes by and watches and catches him doing it or something? Like this is an illegal video. Exposing yourself in public is illegal. He solicited an illegal video all around, and it could have had higher ramifications. And now he's trying to hush it up. And then when the person says, "Hey, what happens if this goes public? I think your fans would probably attack me." He's now, instead of using the tactic of, "Hey, I'll give you stuff to keep quiet," it's, "Well, you should keep quiet, otherwise bad shit will happen to you." And that's a lot of manipulation. And in the essence, that's something you'd see a lot of. What a child predator, or what a predator would say to a child. And yes, they're the same age, but if he gets away with this behavior now, what happens? What's say at 18, 19, 20, or whatever?
I made
Hold
that
on,
same.
can I
Well,
bring
hold it.
up a
Hold.
point?
No, I got to get to this. Quite fuck. I might have
Okay.
already lost it. Shit. You're certainly, that's definitely concerning. But the thing I'd point out here is that, you know how fast he asked for the dick pic and outside, and he had all this specific things set up in his mind. I don't know about all you, but as someone who's basically I'm familiar enough with porn, when you're that specific with your directory, this isn't your first time at the ordering booth, if you know what I mean.
I'd also like to point out the fact that he was very quick, after all was said and done, to sort of, weaponize that power disparity that they had, as an influencer.
Go ahead.
Can I just have my thing? All right. So the thing is they bring up the fact that he's been lying about his age to get into all these 18 plus servers. For all this kid knew, they were an adult.
Yeah, and that's another good point, Rouge. That's a very good point.
So what does that specifically
Well, I
get the kid
would-
in trouble for? I mean, yeah, the adult has to, but there is no adult here that had
I
this.
know, but it makes sense why the kid would come forward and ask certain questions and all this stuff, and why they thought it was a bigger deal is because he is and has been lying, saying he is an adult.
Well, and the other thing is if this kid assumed that he was an adult, that changes the power dynamic, the assumed power dynamic of the relationship between them, because he assumes that he's talking to somebody older than him.
Yeah, he assumed wrong. He doesn't get to carry that through with him now.
Well, no,
Yeah,
that's
but-
true.
It still plays a part in this, though, Anthony.
Even then, Inc. it's still a large, power imbalance, because Inc. has a massive following. And, it's one of those things that he even, in these DMs, Inc. even tries to fucking weaponize that shit. There's still a power imbalance at play, and it's still going in favor of Inc., and they know that. They're very aware of it, even by their own admission.
We can easily
Well, it's
point
like,
out
here-
just on the...
here's-
Wait, hold it. Let me respond. You can easily point out because Inc. is 17 and inexperienced, doesn't understand the full ramifications of being able to take advantage of said power imbalance.
I don't believe that, and that's simply because if you even pay attention to all the shit that happened in the past 2 years with people getting canceled, like pro Jared Slazo, that is a very, very common thing to understand, that people just kind of know nowadays. When people have a large following, when you interact interpersonally like this, they're almost hyper aware of power imbalances now because of things like that.
I've got a ready-made answer for you right now. Spock Theory literally confessed to being a pedophile to get people to shut up and go away when he was 17.
I get
It's not a ready-made answer, actually.
Well, I would like to.
17-year-olds make short-sighted bad decisions.
Yes. So in that, and Anthony, I have a response. Here's the thing. Yes, maybe he's 17, and this is just him fucking up, and he is freaking scrambling to cover his ass, but the fact is the signs of the behavioral tendencies are there, and it's not saying that, hey, we should crucify him and throw him in jail forever like he is the worst piece of shit in the world. It's more of, hey, we need to draw attention to this so that he can go get himself some help before this becomes an issue for him in the future.
I totally agree with that. Okay, so again, as someone who deals in the worst case scenario, I don't have proof. I'm not a medical doctor. I can't see down a straight line between this is going to lead to this, and this. But the worst case scenario is he doesn't stop on the brakes after he becomes 18 and keeps doing dumb crap like this, and eventually the excuses, or rather the things that make it look not so bad, stop being there, and it's just some creepy old guy doing the same dumb shit. That's possible.
And then it's still the willing... I'm not saying ruin this kid's life. I'm not saying that at all. I just want to make that clear. But it's also the fact that he was very, very ready to let this other person as a payment method potentially ruin theirs. Like, it's like Gilded brought up earlier. What if he'd gotten caught? He's on the sex offenders registry for life at that point. For a commission.
Here's the other thing, Coyote. It's just what seems up about the whole dick pic offer. It feels like this Ink kid has a history of something like that, and I feel like in this situation we give it some time to see if more people come forward.
Yeah,
similar stories.
That is kind of the point of the stream. And if people, again, if no one feels exactly comfortable with this being the venue to come forward, gather some of your friends, talk to somebody else you respect, someone else big in the community, have them kind of put something together here. The end goal here is to basically give people the chance to come forward and say, hey, Ink's kind of done this one too many times, if that's the case.
I'm sure just about everybody in this call right now who has a platform is willing to handle stuff like this. So
yeah. Well, again, I'm just stating
this is a.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, for me, this is a one too many times sort of thing for me.
I mean,
very similarly, but I still want. I guess it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, he's 17. Ink is 17. Don't ruin their life, but at the same time, they definitely need to be held accountable for every single part of this, if at least in some sense of the word. Maybe not legally and go to fucking prison, but they need to be held in some way accountable, because there's a lot of shit to unpack here that they fucked up on.
Well, I could do this. Do you feel that Ink should probably stop selling pornography on the internet at this point?
Yeah.
Minimum, yes, including other things. That's a great place to start.
That's an excellent start. I don't think does anyone disagree with that point?
No.
Well, I'd like
to finish, but I think it's a start.
Yeah, I definitely would like to see Ink be like, hey, look, I'm not going to put myself in situations where I ask for nudes from anybody, since apparently I'm not very I can't. Well, obviously the 17-year-old can't be mature and responsible if you could do such a thing in such a manner. Holy crap. I don't think I'll ever have to say that again. Go ahead.
Which you can't. I was going to say, which you can't, because realistically, it's like someone pointed out earlier, Ink has a giant following. There is a power dynamic here no matter how you look at it. It'd be one thing if it was two people who had similar accounts, who had similar fame. There would be no power dynamic. But I can guarantee you, I'm sure if you can literally look at the comments on Ink's post and you can see people are like, oh, well, it's not that bad. Like, you both are accountable. No, there is a power dynamic here, and Ink blatantly abused that, and that's bullshit.
Yeah, and it's even in the screenshots right here that they leaked right here between them and Ink, where it's just they even said your fans would go rabid and attack me. Ink confirms most likely, which is why I said we should just be quiet, lol. It'd be the best for both of us. They're aware of this power disparity. They're very aware by their own admission.
If there's one more piece of information I'd like to bring up again is in Ink's sort of essay that he wrote, when he got the payment for the initial commission, he recognized the name of the person that the PayPal or whatever it belonged to, which seems to me that he knew this person, they had a history, and he knew that this person was a minor.
So that was before he asked for the nudes.
Yeah. According to what he said, I'm assuming that's what he's going in chronological order of events.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's in there in his own, telling of events. He says, "Hey, you could have just told me this was you," because he, recognized the, I think the profile picture.
Yeah, I'm gonna blank the screen real quick to check notifications. You never know what someone's gonna send me in the middle of the stream. And no, he didn't reply. Where is it? There it is. There we are.
Yeah, I found it. I can read it out loud for you. I received the money and see that his PayPal icon is the same of @Rakuki was taken, someone that I recognize from a Discord server. I say to him, "You could have just told me it was you, dude. It's fine." And he responds telling me not to tell anyone about his alt. So I take it they both knew each other already.
Yeah.
How much they knew, how much Ink knew about this guy, I can't say for certain, but I do know that by the end of this, he knows that this guy's a minor.
And not only that. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Coyote. I don't have it up. Do you have it up?
I actually real quick wanted to point out, in case nobody else pointed out, this contradiction in Ink's version of events, something that is contradicted by the DMs that were leaked, which is, again, point number 2 that I brought up earlier, where their suggestion of an NSFW video was swiftly taken back as soon as I offered it. That is incorrect, because if you even look at the DMs, they're even going into detail about how to do something like this, and there's all sorts of fucking messages exchanged, and they didn't pull it back until after the other person said, "I can't do that. I'm not okay with it." They were going to go through with it, and for all intents and purposes, from what it looks like, they were fully willing to go through with that until the other person declined.
Makes you wonder if he has an archive of crap like that.
Wonder how many people he's looked at and said, "Hey, yeah, you can just pay with some pornography."
Well,
now, I just want to real quick just point out, and I get it. It's 17 and it's child porn and whatever, and I get all that, but the thing here is they're both 17, and yes, it's illegal because it's considered child porn, but that's like going out there and be like, we should, every high school student that gets a nude picture from his girlfriend, should be in trouble for child porn. Like, yes,
They
technically,
do if they get caught.
all right,
Though.
Gilded. I'll
That's
put it
what
to you
we
this way:
understand.
if a 17-year-old gets caught with that nude picture by a police officer, sucks. It's a damn shame, but I'm gonna sleep like a rock myself if he did it.
I agree, but it's one of those things.
I'm not gonna bend
Gilded.
over backwards to go get him in trouble, but I'm like, hey, probably fucking stop doing that. You're gonna, that picture's
Well,
never gonna become legal.
what my point is it's up to, at the end of the day, it's up to the district attorney if they want to, actually, prosecute that. And a lot of district attorneys are just going to be like, slap them on the wrist, tell them not to do it again, and leave them and get them out of my court. I don't want to bother with this.
I agree, Gilded. I just want to point out, I'm just going to call a spade here. It's not necessarily the same thing, because this was them saying, go outside where there are people around, jerk off in public, and use that in addition to money to pay for a product. It's not exactly the same.
I agree with you, Coyote. I do. It's like when I first came in here, I wasn't like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna come in here because it was the 17 and 17 thing, and I was gonna make that point. My attitude has changed towards Ink in this whole situation. Like, you're right, it's completely different because it's a whole different dynamic. I'm just I want to make sure that we're focusing on the whole picture, not just the fact that it was 17. The 17 part, because the Ink can use that. Well, we're just the same age, and you use the same thing I just said to be like, it wasn't that bad. Whereas it's worse than what he's gonna try and make it out to be.
I agree, and I've been arguing that in the actual comments of their thread for a while now.
The clarification being, Gilded, you're saying what's worse about this situation is it was premeditative, correct?
Yeah, that was premeditated, and that he tried to get him to do things. He tried to make it, he tried to get this person to do something that was way, in my eyes, highly more illegal than what he was already asking. because this could have ruined not just his life, but it could have scarred multiple people and done so many. The ramifications of this could have been so much more massive than what they were because of what he was asking.
Okay,
Well,
so this. Let
sorry,
me
go ahead,
go.
Rouge.
While y'all keep talking over me.
Take it easy.
Fucking hell. So the two screenshots I put here in chat are ones that the minor put out, or sorry, the person in question put out themselves, and there are situations where they had moved past the like kind of dick pic conversation, and Ink keeps bringing them up in conversation, going, yeah, send them anytime, yeah, send them, yeah, do like whenever, gift's a gift, and they're like they were having other discussions.
So he's pushing for it.
Well, I'm looking at Riku's response here. Do you actually kind of want to see it? Like, this seems chummy.
So, that you
Again,
see,
you
I'm
can
glad
still-
to hear someone is having a good relationship. Yeah, anyways, if you want to do something like that, go for it. Gifts be gifts. So they're talking about a relationship, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I send the dick pic. A gift is a gift."
Jesus.
And then the bottom one, they're talking about, oh, who doesn't like a good maid? And he goes, all right, send the photos whenever you want. I'm down for them 95% of the time. All right, nice. Feel free to spam them whenever.
I mean, you could say that looks chummy, but at the same time, that could also be Rikuki trying to just not lose a friend, and especially influenced by that power dynamic, which is, again, very much at play still.
Well,
Like, it's one of those things still where you could be like, maybe they're afraid of upsetting this person because they're just afraid of having somebody so large in the community hating them.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very real fear, especially with teenagers, especially in social media with teenagers.
I mean, that's still a fair for you still find people in the fandoms now that are like 30 that are afraid of that. You know, it doesn't matter. You know, it's a power thing. It's if you're big in a fandom and somebody uses that fandom and feels like that fandom's really something for them that helps them or something, and they're afraid to be ostracized out. And you're a large person in that fandom, you have power over them, and how you wield it and use it really matters.
I'm just reading. I'm reading this thread and I'm totally disgusted. Like I see some guy who's like, I'm so sick of seeing Twitter or the internet in general pick a side and try to cancel someone immediately after hearing one side of the story, even though both sides have put out their own set of. Actually, no, Ink didn't even give DMs, did they? It's just the other
No,
person.
it's all anecdotal.
Yeah, and so
Welcome.
there are actual adults in this fucking thread being like, oh no, it's okay. It was consensual. I don't give a shit if it's consensual.
Monsters, welcome to the furry fandom. Everyone cozies up to the bigger guy
Well,
unless it's possible.
Hold on. This is again where I want to go with the power dynamic thing, and I know this is gonna may upset some people, but this goes back to like workplaces and sexual harassment and stuff. If you have more power in a situation and you kind of are forceful or coerce somebody into sending you porn or nudes or doing something sexual for you, it is no longer consensual because it is coerced. If you look at the law, coercion negates the consent.
okay. You're perceiving. That's perceived fucking authority. That's on the individual. You can absolutely fucking tell somebody with 10,000 subs to eat a dick, and there's not that much they can do.
No, and you are right, but again, the law says coercion negates consent.
It's also there's not.
How often does that really practically apply?
There's not perceived
online?
authority. There's obvious authority, as said by Ink, who says, yeah, like my fans will go crazy on you. That's not perceived. That's literally stated. You can't perceive
It's spelled
anything.
out pretty clearly at that point.
And Gilda,
That's
there's
coercion.
something I want to point out to you about that. If some strong arm tactics that some of the people have been around here using. If you want to pull that out there, that's a slippery slope there, Gilded.
So I just want to go back on something real quick on Ink's post real quick. So to play off the chain of events, this guy asks for an NSFW commission. Ink sets the price at 200. The deal goes through. Then this guy comes back again and asks for another commission, and then this guy lowers the price. And then this guy pays for the commission because if he paid another 200 one, that would take a lot of money out of his pocket. Then the time after that, he raised the price back to 200, and that's when the dick pic offer was given. So it feels like to me that there's a bit of planning going on, that he incentivizes off people's financial desperation.
That's
in a sense. It's
that's potentially the case, but at that point, I'd be like, look, you could shop around. You're on the internet. If at 17, if you can't tell that there's more than one fucking, I guess one more shop to go to, you kind of just. I have to be very careful with this next line. If you only know one artist and you let them bend you over, you're kind of, what else am I going to tell you at that point?
Well, he says that the reason why he lowered the price was one, due to the financial fragility this guy has, but also because he trusts this person. But then all of a sudden he raises it up, and I'm asking myself, where did the trust go?
I've had artists I have absolutely loved and adored. And I'm not bringing up this name specifically for him to be bullied or harassed. He was well within his rights. Bonzito, the last time I tried to get a commission when I signed up for it, the price suddenly went up from like 30, 40 or whatever the hell it was to 200. I thanked him for his time. I appreciated his previous work, and I moved on. That shouldn't even be a hard lesson. You should just look at your wallet and be like, well, can't afford that. Or I choose not to.
I would like to point out something though. So let me ask you: if you had a friend, like just anybody, this goes for everybody watching, everybody here. If you have a friend and they're an actress and they go to a gig and the director tells them, "Hey, I'll give you the gig if you sleep with me," where's the difference between that and this?
Because he's the director, you're the buyer, you have all the power. You could get up and leave. They can't force you to give the money.
An actress can get up and leave. They can just be like, "Hey, I'm leaving. I don't want
all right,
this
so
world that mad."
here's the whole thing, though. What are they going to do?
Did
Blackball?
Harvey
What are they going to do?
Weinstein's
Blackball
victim
this
leave?
person from buying further art? They make a new fucking alt, and they could still buy the fucking art. It's easy.
Okay, but you're kind of missing the
Actually,
point here.
Anthony,
if
hold on.
grown-ass
I want
people-
to address that. Anthony, any friends that Ink has, like clearly, because even Ink's, their version of events, they found out that this was the person they already knew very easily.
Okay.
Anyone that Ink is friends with, Ink can just look at them and say, "Hey, don't service this person anymore." And you know what? Most of them, considering the way the furry fandom tends to work with that shit, most of them are going to listen. So yeah, they kind of can. They actually, that's like a legitimate thing they really could do. Maybe not from every artist, but a lot of them.
But more to the point is that if grown-ass adults can't walk away from a situation where there's a power dynamic failure, what the fuck makes you think a 17-year-old is going to feel comfortable enough doing that? They're not going to.
You imply that you think that I consider those grown-ass adults valid, competent, or anything.
The competency is irrelevant. That you're trying to argue that adults can just walk away from situations, that the 17-year-old could just walk away from situations, but adults don't do that on a regular basis. So what makes you think a
Okay,
child
so let
is
me be absolutely clear here. I absolutely believe Ink should yes.
Ink gave me his Discord.
Oh, excellent. Yeah. We will not be screaming at Ink. We will have a civil discussion. Knock on wood.
Myself.
Okay.
No, that
I
sounds
want
good
to
to
make sure
me.
that I don't come off hot, so I'm going to mute myself for a bit just to be tame.
Let me throw up Ben.
So what did you want to say about Ink, Anthony?
I've already forgot. We got Ink coming in. Fuck. That I didn't expect that in my wildest dreams when they didn't respond. I was like, okay, yeah. I'll be clear. Now I'm jogging my memory here. It's not that I don't think that Ink should take some shit, and God be willing, if Ink winded up getting in trouble with the authorities, my life would go on. I wouldn't lose an ink of sleep. They'd lick of sleep, whatever the hell.
Wink.
Lol.
Sorry.
It's not like I need this person to go one way or another. I think it's worth talking about. It's certainly worth fucking goddamn raising opinion in case they did take advantage of other people. It's a bad idea, and I agree with Gilded. Yeah, this could be a pattern of behavior. Could be a pattern of behavior. I don't know. I can't climb inside his head. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't read minds. I'm not a professional in any kind of medical sense. And there he is.
Hi, Ink.
Hello, Ink. How are you today? I'll introduce you around the room. That's Coyote Lovely. He does free accessories. It's Gilded Dash. brony. Rouge is a brony. I'm a brony. Rouge is a brony. Many of us here, including Monstrous, we go after predators. We don't believe you're a predator. That's the good news. Wonderful. But you did solicit child pornography. Left out hate, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Fine, man.
Okay, let me explain. Let's
leave out hate.
Alright.
We got to introduce hate too. Hate's important. We
no,
love
I
you.
got it. I'm trying to
No,
compose.
no, Coyote. It's like the thing is, the gag I like is I'm just the guy in the background.
So, Ink, the question here is that how often have you used the nudes as a discount? Me and the person are the same age. Yes, that is absolutely true. Here's the good news, Ink. They're talking about power dynamic. I'm going to get screamed at any second now, and I'm going to call that a bunch of hokey pokey Tumblr bullshit. But I will let them say their piece.
I mean, Anthony Harvey Weinstein would like to have a conversation with you.
He was a bit more on fucking some of the bull crap on that. We could go through point by point on that.
Ink, you were free. I told him he was here to come share his side of things and answer any questions people might have. No one be harsh on him.
Yes.
Just be open to listen and hear the story out.
This is the only time I actually wasn't aware of the person's age beforehand, though that they were 18. Now, keep in mind here, Ink, just from my personal experience, if you're, just in case, if you're hoping that someone's going to shut up down the line, they never do. They never do. So if you might want to get out ahead of that, just in case. If you go ahead.
Okay, I'd also like to point out that it doesn't really matter whether you thought this person was a child or an adult. The fact of the matter is you are a child. You asked, like by this logic, you're soliciting an adult for pornography. So that person can get in trouble for distributing pornography to a minor, according to UK law.
Ink, are you from the UK or the US?
Well, everything isn't.
I'd assume UK because it's the
It doesn't
payment's
matter
going through
whether
in
you
pounds.
typed anything. The fact that you
Okay,
requested
guys,
it,
we-
you would have gotten it.
If you go into attack mode instead of letting this person voice
Yeah.
why they're here and their story and their side of things, it completely negates it and they're gonna leave.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna ask
All right, go ahead.
Ink. I fucking forgot the question. Holy shit.
No, you didn't, Anthony. It's fine. It's kind of intimidating having multiple people hold me up like this. Well, at the best case scenario, which I'm trying to give you the best case scenario, it looked really bad. Like how can I put this? You were pretty quick on the draw for what you specifically wanted when you're like, hey, go outside. I need you to go, crank the willy out among the public. Why were you like so specifically ready? Was this maybe you had your eye on this individual for a while, or am I even right to be asking that shit?
I think that
Here,
actually reminded.
let me just ask the penultimate question real quick. Ink, is this the one and only time you've asked for something like this from someone when it comes to commissions?
So that's a yes.
Okay, that's
question,
gonna
though,
be taken on the record.
My question, I remembered it, is why did you consider it to be an appropriate thing to ask? That they go out in public, record it, and as based on everything I've seen, record it themselves jerking off in public and use it as payment for a commission. I mean, aside from even if you didn't know their age, I'm going to just throw that out. We're going to throw the age out of there. It's not in the equation. Even if you didn't know their age, that still puts them at a huge risk, because if somebody sees them, they could have wound up on a sex offenders registry. So why was that something that you were willing to, a risk you were willing to put them in for this commission? Why was that okay?
Were you aware, by all intents and purposes, that that was child pornography?
That's not even part of the question. I'm asking why they even thought that was a thing to do. Even, I mean, it's just I don't understand the logic there, because that puts them. You have to understand, since you made it clear in the DMs that you wanted them to do this in public, that puts them at so much risk, regardless of their age. Why was that part of it? Why was that appropriate? Why did you suggest that?
No.
Hold on. You said you weren't thinking at all. I don't believe that, because it looks like there was a lot of thought put into how that would go if you just read through the conversation by itself.
Okay, Coyote, if I could speculate. He was thinking with his dick. I think it was rather quite obvious. He was definitely thinking with the lower head.
Right? And I guess my next question is, in your statement, the thing that I'm having trouble getting past is what you write in those 3 points. The second point that you wrote, which is that it was immediately retracted, which it's contradicted by the DMs. You didn't retract it until they declined. So why did you put in that contradictory statement?
Why?
Well, someone's got
That's
the
Not an
screenshot higher up in
equivalence
the room.
there.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I get what he meant there.
He thinks that deleting DMs is the same thing as retracting statements.
By admittedly saying, I think he's implying in the strictly term that at some point in time that he retracted it, maybe not immediately, I guess. Is that what he's trying to get to?
However, the wording in the public statement says it was immediately retracted, but that's not the case based on the DMs that were presented from the other side. I mean, it shows that this was talked about and batted around until the other person decided, no, I won't do this. So why is that contradictory statement in your public statement? I mean, it's difficult to swallow when it looks like you're being disingenuous. And I'm saying looks like, I'm not saying it's intentional. It's a difficult pill to swallow when it looks like you're being disingenuous in your side of events.
But if we go up,
Well, could you grab that statement and slap it in the room so they can properly respond to it?
I'm doing that right now.
Excellent.
I just need to pull it up from Renhoke's thread.
Well, that's going down. Ink, I want to just point out, I'm not really thinking, like, I don't want to attack you or anything, but the thing here is, these are things you need to, like, things that we're bringing up are things you should be aware of and keep in mind for the future, because they are things that could get you in a lot of trouble. This is something that, a behavior that we're trying to help you not repeat, because these are things that will get you in a lot of trouble and can cause you a lot of issues down the road. So please take what we're saying here and realize that we're trying to be helpful to you and not trying to hurt you in any way.
So, Ink, again, naturally I can't make you listen to me, but everyone that I asked this question to in the call, for the most part, agreed. Considering recent events, it might be in your best interest, this is just a heavy suggestion, that Gilded here can imply that I'm threatening, I'm not. It would be in your best interest, perhaps, that you no longer take not safe for work commissions. It would probably be a good idea. What are you thinking? Okay. Keep in mind that's a very stiff statement.
I have one question. Can I just ask what it was about this person that made you want to extend this offer to them?
I'm assuming they had the hots for them.
Anthony.
Well, okay.
Just to clarify, you're not talking about the offer of NSFW work. It's specifically the payment method you're talking about, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Ink, I'm talking about, what about this person, made you extend an offer of the video to lower payment? Like, what about this specific individual it was? Because you said you say you've never done this before. Okay.
Okay.
You have to understand that sending a nude image and soliciting a video like the one suggested as a payment method, these are far different. They are a far cry from the same thing.
Now, Inc. If they can prove that, did you ask for that nude, or did they just unsolicitedly send you it? Like, how did that go down? It was a
So-
mutual agreement. Okay. We don't want the picture. If the discussion.
Okay, but did you receive the material?
I hope that's all been deleted, Inc.
Oh God, I
He
hope
said
so.
earlier that he deleted it. He
Okay.
doesn't have it.
I would like to ask a question. Why, considering you didn't know the age of this person and you assumed that they were 18, they were over the age of 18, why did you think that you, a minor, could legally possess pornography of an adult? Because according to UK law, receiving pornography or possessing pornography is illegal for children. Age of consent, by the way, does not come into this.
If I could be permitted to be fair, most of the teenagers we run into seem to come across adult material. We could tell them no all they want. I'm expecting Inc. probably to disregard that part about him receiving pornography on the internet, because I know if I were 17 and a bunch of people I just met were like, you can't look at that pornography, at best I'm going to lie to your face and be like, oh yeah, no, totally not going to look. And the minute I get out of that call, I'm
Right.
going to
but
toss that out the
in
window.
in this case, if you're requesting pornography from what you think is an adult and you yourself are a minor, you know that if something were to happen, that's going to come back and bite you in the ass. So there shouldn't have been a thought at all to say, hey, how about you send me some porn and I'll knock off 20 pounds?
I'm just posting this here because Kira posted it in the drama chat. It's in Plasm's for Affinity.
Okay.
Actually, there was another thing that I wanted to talk about. There was another thing that I wanted to talk about, which is in let me see if I can pull it up again, because I closed the thread. It is in the end of that conversation where they started asking, what would happen if this went public. It seems, and this could just be my impression, correct me if I'm wrong, it seems in that part of the conversation you did sort of use that power dynamic, that power disparity of you having a large audience and them not so much, to sort of try to scare them into not talking about it. And again, that's my impression. You can feel free to correct me, but my question is, why, just that whole part of the conversation, I guess, why did that happen? If you could put up forward those tweets, where you asked them not to harass the person, that would be great, because that would actually be very much in your favor, because that would pretty heavily kind of show that you're not utilizing that power dynamic or power disparity in that way.
The only problem I see is that beforehand the accusations that came out were from a third party, and he, in the conversation, put down their Twitter and what it is. Hence why I was able to contact them as well.
Who made this public in the first place?
The third party.
Oh.
Yeah. The day after Inc. released the name of the anonymous person.
I mean, we've shown it on screen. Inc. the suggestion has been that perhaps, do you feel that would you be opposed to maybe getting some help?
I think part of
Psychiatric
you.
is what I was implying, sir.
I think
Honestly, I
part-
don't.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I think part of you getting that help is sorry, I'm like popping into my microphone. Part of you getting that help, in my opinion, is you publicly telling your fans to stop defending your actions, because there are a lot of adults on your Twitter page who are telling other people that what you did wasn't okay, and what you did I'm sorry. There are a lot of adults on your Twitter page who are trying to tell other people that them criticizing you is not okay, that what you did is totally okay because it was mutually agreed upon. I think you need to make a statement and tell other adults and your fans in general that what you did wasn't okay and to stop defending you, because there are a lot. There are people on there I've seen before who I'm surprised that they're siding with you. I can't make you do anything.
Yeah, no.
But
It would be a likely good idea. I concur with Monstrous' statement on that, Ink. Just to make the statement, I know you can't make your fans either, but, just make a remark in there and saying that what I'd done was ill-advised. I don't agree with it. Please do not defend this action.
I
It
made a
was
severe
uncouth.
continuous lapse in my judgment. I don't
It was
expect to be forgiven.
severe
The
and
judgment
Mistakes were
continuous.
made.
Damn it.
Very uncouth.
Hate beat me to it. I was going to make the mistakes as were made joke. Anything else we need to get to?
When we're done with ink, I do have the person in question.
Okay, so we're going to... Wow,
But
I was not expecting this to be what it is today.
having a good
Yeah, we're
time.
going
Yeah,
on more
same.
focus on this shit. Yeah, we're bringing in
Keep on the
ink,
floor.
bringing in the other person. You know.
I just don't want to do it with ink here. I'd like to have them separate.
Oh, great.
No good Springer show.
Oh, okay.
No.
We'll tell you what, Ink. Since you're here, is there anything that I'd like to be in separate person creeps me out? Okay.
I'll drop the link here for you if you'd like to still, I guess, listen in, and if you have anything you'd like to, I guess,
respond to,
review or respond, you're able to.
DM anybody in this call, and we can make your statement known if you have any thoughts on what's said.
Wait,
Mock how
I
Anthony can't spell.
I have a question. Somebody in chat just said Ink got into drama again. Ink, have you been in drama before?
Furry community, everyone's in drama.
I was going to say some bull. Yeah, Ink. I was
Be
about
real.
to say some
Y'all-
bullshit. I was like, "Sir, I don't deal in." And I was about, no, you can't say that. Anthony.
What was the drama about?
We all pretend to like each other until such a time that we can actually show that we really hate each other and have it be socially acceptable.
Okay. Would you like to explain that, Ink?
Oh. I don't. I guess that's drama. I don't know.
It's a long story. I'm in bed at the moment. All right. Well, you know what? I think the next guy will probably tell us about it. I would assume, Ink. I'd like to thank you for coming out. We'll be in touch potentially. Am I okay to remove you now?
Been a good time.
Can I say another thing before I go? Absolutely, Ink. You can totally say another thing before you go. I also want to respond to Gilded in a remark about the power dynamic thing. By merely having the position. Okay, 1 second. I just want everything to be over, and I'm trying to be a good person, and I don't want to hurt anyone. We'll see.
Yep.
We'll definitely.
I believe you, but I'm still leery of the situation, and I'll be kind of watching.
Okay.
I'm always skeptical.
Yes, we've. I will not say that I have heard that before, but I've totally heard that before. And again, I don't believe you're a predator, but you are making some bad decisions that will not age, that definitely should not carry with you in the later years.
You're a dumb kid.
Yes, that's the good news.
Okay, we were trying to say it nicely, but right.
Anything blown up this
All
much
right,
anyways.
let's
Yeah. All right.
let's have the other kid in here.
Yeah, take care. All right, let me remove the person. And as for the power dynamic thing, I'm kind of annoyed because sometimes it feels like, again, maybe just based off of previous relationships, by sheer virtue of you having the power, you're automatically wrong. So I'm inclined to swing the other way.
Well, no. Automatically having power does not mean that you are automatically in the wrong, because I've said before, like, if you have people who have like equal access to power, then you're both at odds with each other. But if you're actively taking advantage of a situation and sitting there and saying, okay, well, I'll take porn as a discount, that puts you in the wrong. There are plenty of positions that a person can be in who has, I guess, the clout or the power where it's not their fault, and that is the case of someone who
if a musician
wants to emotionally blackmail.
Hold on,
Can I actually respond, because this was actually Anthony's
Yes.
actually pointing this at me. Here's my take on it, Anthony. It's not so much about just because you have the power, it makes you automatically in the wrong. It's about the optics of the situation. Does it look like you're abusing your power to gain an advantage in the situation?
I treat
That
it.
is,
Yeah, you went for Harvey Weinstein. I look at it like this: rock star. You turn to a groupie. Hey, how about a BJ? And she goes, okay. She can't then turn around going,
No.
I felt bullied by his overall. How did you call it? Fuck.
No,
No, that's a whole different. That's a whole different thing. That's a It's I get what you're saying, but that is a different thing. It's one thing where it's.
No, if they're making a veiled threat, yes.
Yeah.
I agree with that, yeah. There's a bit of a difference though when I hear implied power dynamic, because I won't mention the person, but they were saying about pro Jared, because they're like, I still believe that he was inherently wrong because of the power dynamic. Now granted, I don't have obviously those chat logs in front of me. He got lied to by those kids pretending to be an adult. I was more inclined to basically, since he was able to prove his innocence. So yeah, I more kind of go with has to be proven guilty in those cases.
I understand. I just want to clarify. I'm not saying a power disparity is wrong in every sense, and I'm not saying the person with the power is by default wrong. If the person, however, seems to be that they have used that in order to gain some kind of advantage in the situation and use that as some sort of leverage to get what they want, that's when it's wrong.
Okay.
Let's take your example. The rockstar turns to the groupie and says, "Hey, how about a BJ?" And they say, "Sure." There's no power disparity there because they haven't threatened them. But if they said, "Give me a BJ," or "I'm going to make sure that everyone else that I ever go on tour with knows that you're a slut because I'm going to tell them that you."
Oh yeah, no, that goes without saying. I don't feel you need a power disparity thing. That's blackmail, straight up. Like.
But that's kind of the example. That's the difference, though.
Okay.
That's where it comes in. That's where the power disparity thing happens.
Yeah, that would have been
like,
that would have been
yeah,
illegal with or without the power disparity. Okay, so let's grab the other guy. Rouge, you got him?
Yeah, I was waiting for y'all to be done.
Okay.
I just want to say one thing real quick, just going back before just audience count aside. Just going from the process of events, this guy raises his prices because it's an NSFW commission. It's good, and this guy is saying he's willing to. He's putting up this price because he's willing to pay this amount. And then the time after that, he lowers the price and is made aware of this other guy's financial fragility, as I've said before. And then he raises the price again afterwards, and that's when the dick pic thing comes in. It seems to me that there was forethought put into this, and that there was more going on in this power dynamic, that he's using the information that he's been given to manipulate this individual. He knows that this guy is willing to pay a large sum of money for his artwork, and has been made aware of his,
Let's get the
how
other guy
poor
in
he
'cause
is.
I
So,
got like
well, here
Yeah, let's-
I'll concede this to Gilded, Hate, and Coyote. It is potentially possible that Ink will grow up to be an Esion. We'll wait and see.
I'm not saying that at all. As a matter of fact, I'm saying that at this point, I'm not even saying they did leverage the power disparity that way. I'm not saying that whatsoever. I'm just trying to explain where that argument was coming from earlier,
Okay.
since that came back
Well,
up.
Well, I
Yeah.
was giving the worst case scenario, what I would perceive is likely.
That conversation with Ink, I don't believe they were
Yeah.
trying to use it that way. I think
Yeah.
that's just a conversation.
Now that we've talked to him, it's kind of the opinion on it has changed slightly.
Okay.
And I'm not just clearing that up for you. There's people in chat also who seem to be under the impression that we're still implying. I'm not. I don't believe that happened. I don't believe that's the case.
Okay. So,
okay, let's bring the other kid in.
All right, I was making sure you're all done because there was like 3 times there.
I was gonna
Jesus.
joke and say I had something to say, but I decided not to.
okay. Removes is the kid, so we can keep going. No, I'm kidding. Don't do that. Hold on. Okay.
Hold ob.
Yeah.
I really did not expect this this stream to really amount to much. I was like, all right, half hour, we're gonna knock this out, and I'm gonna
You were almost going to put it on Fan and Frenzy, weren't you?
No. I was reading through it. I'm like, this is a little too interesting. Yeah, I think the numbers would have been just the same, actually, knowing that I have both
Set
of
your
them.
expectations low, Anthony, and good things are always promised to happen.
Well, and
That's
then we
just
got
good
that
life
other
advice.
thing to handle.
Hello, sir. Do you have a microphone?
Hi, yes I do.
I automatically like you just a little bit better than the last guy because I don't have to read. Okay, so let's.
I don't have to read.
I'll have to buy you hooked on phonics, don't I?
All right, these nuts. So, anyways, hello, Beta Angel. Is that what you would like to be called
Hi.
for the stream, or what?
Wait, are you recording or?
We're streaming.
This is on stream.
Oh, are you?
Yeah,
Oh,
we literally
okay.
just had Ink in the room. You could scroll up and literally see where we removed him. Actually, you don't even have to scroll up. It's right on screen.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you can call me Beta or Rack, either is fine.
Is it Iraq, or how did you... I
Or,
feel really
like,
rude calling
Rack.
you Beta. Iraq.
No,
I
you
don't.
can call me Beta, it's fine.
All right,
I-
Beta
I-
it is. All right. Coyote, take it away.
What am I taking away?
I don't know. I don't want to intimidate the new guy.
So you said me? I'm the wrong
no.
answer for that.
Tell us, Beta. Tell us what happened from your perspective.
How far back?
The whole thing.
With ink or with the thread?
Oh, I thought he was
For
going to
it.
do the in the beginning.
With
And-
and in the beginning, with ink. So you commissioned ink, or you wanted to commission ink.
So, hold on. Hold on. Let me move my mic. Actually, I'm gonna mute for 1 second.
Okay.
I
Right,
told
so,
him
yeah, the
he's
beginning
free to
of it-
bring someone along if he gets nervous or anything.
I mean, we're not
The be-
attacking him.
I know.
Okay.
There you go.
So, what happened with ink was, I had wanted to, because I had commissioned him before,
Mhm.
right? And so, I remember, I don't remember how much I offered, but I was like, dude, I think I was talking about NSFW stuff. And he was like, no, I don't do that anymore. And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine, you know. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I was like, I like your stuff, dude. I would have offered this much. He was like, oh yeah, really? And I was like, yeah, dude. He brought up, doing it again. So then he friended me on Discord, and then, I mean, pretty much everything is in the DMs where,
So,
I mean,
Beta,
Well,
real quick, if I can ask.
Mhm.
He said where he was kind of aware of you already. Did he, as politely as I can say, have a crush on you or something?
Did he have one on me?
Yeah, I don't know. There's the way he's like, oh, I totally knew about you already, or
Yeah,
something.
he said in his response he recognized your username from your PayPal account. Can you describe your history with your past history?
Oh, well, that was because, so because my PayPal is like PayPal/Beta Angel or whatever, and that's what I had used before whenever I was using the Beta Angel account, and I was using the Rakuki one, and I had paid him on that, and that's what he's talking about.
Right. But I'm asking, like, what was your relationship? What were your interactions with him previously to that? Was it just commissions?
Yeah.
Okay. So I just want to go off on some things that Ink had said in his response post. Maybe it can help refresh your memory, or you could point out some contradictions. So you offered to pay him £200, correct?
I think, yeah.
And then
Also,
after
if
that,
I mute randomly, just ignore it. I'll be back in
yeah.
a sec.
Are you leaving?
I think he had.
No, I was just.
Oh, okay. And then you went to him again and asked for another commission, and that time he had lowered it all the way from $200 to $100. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then the third time he raised it back to 200, and that's when the discussion of the dick pic or the NSFW video came up. That is also
Well,
correct, right?
he wanted it to be 150, and I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. It's 125 fine. And then that's whenever he was like, oh, you could, you know.
So this video was supposed to cover the entirety of the payment, or this was supposed to
No,
reduce
it was
the
just
payment?
supposed to reduce it.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I mean, I'm not gonna like sit here and be like, oh, Ink is a monster or anything, because he's not. I mean, I honestly don't think that he is. I think that he's a cool person. I really do, and I won't deny that I think that he probably just made a lapse in judgment. That's just how horny he is.
I just wanted to ask, and this is something that I asked about when Ink was here. Let me see if I can scroll up to that picture. I believe I put it in chat. I did not. When you were discussing, what would happen if this went public, I guess I'm trying to understand how were you approaching that, that conversation? Was there like, you weren't planning to bring it, were you planning to bring it public, or was it one of those things where it was just like like, hey, like, what would happen here kind of thing? Like, I guess that's what I'm trying to understand.
Well, it was mainly just a what would happen, because it was I had already. It's one of those things where you kind of already know what's going to happen, but you want to make sure. You know what I'm trying to say?
No.
I'm not sure I quite get your
I think
meaning.
he's asking like a what if.
No, I mean like you kind of think you know how something's going to go, but you want to make sure.
Yeah, that's
Now,
what I'm saying.
in
You were
in
asking
your
him a what
Yeah,
if.
that's.
how did you suspect it would go? Is my question.
I suspected that nobody would believe me, and then white knights would stick up for him, which is kind of what's been happening. But
It's kind of how they answered. It looks like.
um,
All right,
but
I was just curious about that because you know, that entire part of the conversation, there's an argument to be made that it could look bad for either one of you, and I'm just trying to understand both of your sides of that part of the conversation.
right.
I'm not saying either one of you is wrong on that one. I'm just like explaining why I've asked about
He
that.
stated when we had him in here. Had you sent him a nude at all?
He said he
I had
received
before.
it.
Yes,
Now you
because
understand that that's illegal, correct?
I
Okay.
that's one reason that I regretted it, and that's one reason that I wanted to wipe it, like with what he did.
Had have you done that in the past?
Not really.
Well,
Beta, did you know
whoa,
that?
1 sec. Wait, what do you mean not
sorry.
really? Like you either did or you
I
didn't?
mean, I don't really have any memory of doing it.
Oh, like okay. We'll might come back to that later. Let me re-blank the screen. The missus is trying to send me something.
Beta, real quick. Did you know that he was a minor?
Yeah.
Okay, because I do know that it was brought up in the thread that he had history of lying about his age, and I didn't know if you were aware of that at the time. Did he know that you were a minor?
I'm fairly sure he did.
Can you pull up, like, do you still have your DMs with him?
No, I don't. I have it closed.
Oh. I mean, you could open them up again.
Well, he has me blocked on it, so I can't.
Okay, but okay, then I'll just tell you what I want. I just want to know that at some point, a confirmation that you had told him your age. I think the supplementation of I am such and such age, or just the numerical value put in the text, would imply that he asked you for your age at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Can you supply us with that?
I don't remember anything specifically like that happening, but I can look real quick in DMs, like in the Twitter ones and the ones on this account. I don't have the ones on the other account.
So, perhaps I'm going to ask this incorrectly because I'm a little tired. Someone here had pointed out that what exactly were you looking to have happen?
What do you mean?
What did you want to get out of this?
Yeah, either the stream or coming forward in the first place. Like, what is your motivation, if I can ask, for either or?
Well, I had, because originally, like, I really wasn't going to do anything, but I had gone to, because I have like a small group of friends, and I had gone to them about this, and then that's when they were like, "Hey, you should, go public with this." And I was like, "I don't know about all that," and they were like, "Yeah, you should," and I was like, "Okay." Mainly, honestly, it was to like because I didn't know if because Ink told me that this was like I was the only person, but I didn't know, and I was also afraid that maybe he was doing this to other people, and maybe nobody else spoke out because you know what I'm saying?
No, that's
Because
fair.
But that was honestly my thought process. I don't want to like actually harm him or anything.
Yeah, as it was mentioned, you said you wanted him to get help. Am I correct?
Yeah, like I again, I don't think that he's a bad person or anything. I think that he's just, like anybody else. He just does stupid stuff.
I do think it is important, and this is kind of for anyone watching, if there are any other people that Ink has done this to, because Ink's come in here and stated, this is a one-time thing, I've never done it. Ink stated to Beta, I've never done it to anyone else. So if there's anyone else that can contradict that story because it's someone, you're a victim of something like that, okay, I'm throwing the word victim around too much, but if Ink's ever done something like this to you, it's important you come forward. So that's just kind of a general message to everyone watching.
So, we were sent this, which has been described to us as Beta asking for Ink to basically save their relationship with an ex, and they would make a post saying they're trying to get better.
Well, so this is another thing that was happening with that friend group, and which is ultimately why I kind of put the brakes on it. Because I have really bad over attachment issues that I'm working on. And is that funny?
I don't even know at this point.
Okay, we'll let them finish talking.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Well, as of recently, I've been trying to get a lot better with it. And fuck, hold on, I lost my train of thought.
That's
So
been
you
going
have
around.
over attachment issues.
Keep it at the station.
yes,
You might need to
thank
pick it
you.
up there.
So I've been trying to work on that, and I was talking with some of the friends that made the post, telling them, what I was doing. They were like, "Hey, you can't do that because that's, they can't help you. That's something that you got to do." And it's not that my main goal wasn't just to get them to like me again. It was honestly because the thread that you linked, at least from what I understand, was brought against me on being like, because whenever I was banned from like this, I was in a server, and these were brought against me saying that I was being randomly sexual with people. When most of the screenshots, I believe, were taken out of context.
The point of putting that
And
status in there was to know the context of the DMs. In your DMs, you essentially tell Ink, help me with the situation, and then I'll say that you're getting better. It's do this for me, and then I might do this thing to calm things down on your end.
That's
yeah,
a
sorry,
kind
I
of
had to
blackmail.
take. Sorry, I
Well,
had
that
to
was
take
why
a
I was
drink
giggling.
of water. Oh, yeah, I really don't handle these situations well, and I really thought that because Ink was like, hey, I want this done. My thought process was, okay, well then maybe they can give me a platform to be like, hey, this is my side of this because nobody else really seemed to listen to it before. And looking back, yeah, it's not the greatest, and I don't want to claim that I'm a saint or anything because I'm not. But I mean, yeah, those were DMs that happened between us, and I'm not going to deny them because they're real. It was just a slip up on my end, being stupid and desperate.
All right. No, I
So-
just
Go ahead.
no. Go ahead, Mons.
So I'd like to point out that to me, this looks like we were arguing about the perception of power. To me, this looks like the perception of power. If someone doesn't know how to handle something or is afraid of being attacked or is currently being attacked, then I think that we can infer quite heavily. Actually, there's not even any need to infer that there are perceptions of power, and that whether or not that power was abused is not really, or rather, I should say that when you reach out to somebody who has that power, at least just from what I know, reaching out to somebody who has power in order to mitigate the hatred, because Beta, you've already claimed that you've been getting hatred from Ink's fans, correct?
Mhm.
Which I
Nobody
do want
wants
to point out, in fairness, Inc. actually has asked them not to do that. I just
Right.
want to make sure that that is clarified.
Right, and I
Yeah,
understand that.
I saw that. That's my mistake. He blocked me. I couldn't see the tweets. That's sorry. Continue.
But there's still the perception of power, and while nobody is sitting there and saying, yeah, go abuse that person, the fact that Beta felt the need to tell them, like, could you make this please stop, is still, like, that's an act of desperation from somebody who views the other person as having power. So we were talking about coercion earlier and how consent cannot be given when there's a sense of coercion, and I think that we can confirm
That
yes.
So we're talking about the DM, right?
Right.
The DM is in regards to the status that the X made, and I don't think it's fair,
Never
even
mind.
with the
Never mind.
perception. Yeah, even
Never
with
mind.
the
I misunderstood.
perception that there was that power play that to look at someone and say, "Help me with my X, and maybe I'll say something nice
Okay.
about you."
I misunderstood that.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
that's-
curious, monsters, how
I-
that dime store psychiatry comes into that one there.
Hold
I'm
on,
very confused.
can I say something on that to the point? I've been quiet on it for a bit, but
Yeah, go ahead.
I really feel like that we got on Ink a bit about the fact that he kind of had the perception of power in that situation with you and him at the beginning, But here, this is you, and this is very close to looking like just straight out blackmail. Like, at point of fact, I would call it straight out blackmail. It's you do this for me, and I'll do the, and I'll make your life easier
I
by
I
telling people,
I understood
huh?
it as two 17-year-olds trying to play coy with one another, and after looking at Beta Angel's remark here, I can say I completely was right about the whole power dynamic thing. These were two 17-year-olds being kind of, jerks, a little bit back and forth. That's what it sort of looks like to me.
I mean that's probably exactly what it is, but that doesn't change. The thing is still what it is, man. If it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, I'm gonna call it a duck.
Yeah, looking at those DMs, that is like the definition of quid pro quo, where it's just like there's no good way to spin that. That is like that looks like
Did you get that advice to do this one from those same friends there at Beta?
that's a really bad tactic. I don't know.
No, because I was doing that, and then I can even show you the DMs of me messaging them and them being like, no, don't do that. Because I've been trying to talk with them the whole time. Trying to not.
I'm going to be real with you, and you're not going to get this, but most people who are watching and everyone in this call is going to get it. That is some deviant crow tier shit.
I didn't know he was that stupid, but
Okay.
All right, so when we talked to I already forgot his name, Jesus. Ink. When we talked to Ink, we gave him some advice that he was not obligated to follow, or we basically said, hey, maybe in the future, it would likely be in your best interest not to be drawing any more not safe for work, so you could perceivably avoid this whole situation. And we're definitely going to keep an eye out if anybody else pops up with this sort of thing, as he swore up and down. That's not happened. Class, what advice do we have here for Beta in the future? My brain's not working. I know it's there. I know it's really simple, but my brain's just not cooperating with me. What a quick...
I mean, I get some good advice.
Don't negotiate with terrorists.
Don't put your nudes out there.
Yeah. We've said that to, again, Beta, we don't think you're a predator, but we've said that to predators, and I'll say this to everybody. There's not a lot of there's a lot of baggage that comes with putting your nudes online, and maybe, just maybe, especially if you're underage, it's just a bad idea.
And the other thing is, if you're gonna swap porn images with people, make sure everyone involved is over the age of 18.
Can I say something real quick though? Just
ahead.
to like everybody in here and the. Honestly, I know I messed up, and I really regret it, and it's something that I literally just don't know what to say besides just I'm sorry. And I know that sounds really bad because I don't really know what else to say, but
I mean, personally, looking at both sides' mistakes, which I'm going to chalk up to them being mistakes, and I don't think these were intentionally malicious or deliberate things. I still am more inclined to say what Inc. did, the mistakes they made were worse, but that doesn't mean you didn't make any yourself, and I'm not going to say that you didn't make mistakes. So that's kind of where I'm at least.
Yeah, and I'm not going to deny the fact that I did. I'm not a saint.
So, Beta, the advice I have here, which I'm almost 100% sure you're not going to follow, and in your shoes I might not either. Just, I'm trying to remember what it was to be 17 thousands of years ago. When you get yourself in a really bad situation like this, I'm sure I'm just as guilty as this as anybody else is. You turn to your friends for advice. If you're really, really, really in a bad situation, do you got family?
Kinda.
Maybe you go to some online or offline friends. Maybe some people who are... Do you have like maybe lifelong friends that, off Discord or Skype or something like that? People you could like talk to face to face.
I mean, not really. A lot of the people that I did talk to, they're doing school or doing whatever, and I mean, I have coworkers, but that's about it.
No, perhaps coworkers might not be the best idea. Um,
I mean, like they're friends, but
well, I mean, are you in high school or college, for example?
oh, I've already graduated high school.
Has
Um,
anybody got any advice that maybe some kind of
Here's the thing. Now, even if you're not religious, I mean, I'm not the most super religious person, but if you really need advice, you're really struggling with something. I mean, always feel free to go down to like a church or something and just talk to a pastor or something. They will sit there and listen and give you at least some rational advice. And they're a neutral party that has nothing to gain from whatever they tell you. So, I mean, and that goes for everybody. I mean, just if you need advice, sometimes the best thing to do is just to seek out a neutral party that is considered a trusted person within a community.
mhm,
Sometimes it's the best thing you can do.
mhm.
yeah, but failing that beta, I would highly suggest trying to find somebody local or what have you, who's distanced from the whole online thing, who can give you a perspective. We just met you today. Maybe form some kind of bond of friendship where someone can get to know you and give you the best advice that would be best suited for you. If you can't form that bond with your family, which there may be some personal stuff you don't want to go into right here, right now. I'm trying to come up with, something viable.
Yeah, I get you.
Sorry for being a little instigative about this. My temper got heated when I kept hearing about this, that, and the other, and I kind of had a chip on my shoulder coming and talking to you. Not because I didn't know who this guy was. What's his name again?
Ink.
Ink. Case in point, yeah, I totally didn't know who Ink was going into this. Um, but I don't know. Maybe I was just overly concerned that people were willing to jump on them. In your case too, I'm not trying to jump on you either, and I did get a bit frustrated when I saw that DM where I was like, the best thing I could do in this situation is talk to both you guys and find a way to make sure that this doesn't happen for either of you. So we don't have to have necessarily a bad guy. We had a situation where two people screwed up, and hopefully we don't have to hear about it ever again. It'll be some silly, goofy shit that we see on Twitter next time about a dumb argument that gets lost a day later on Twitter, like everything else. Hopefully. Anybody want to cut in there?
No,
Nope.
Yeah,
I think we're good. I think
we're
we've
good.
wrapped up everything up.
Fucking church, Anthony.
I didn't even say it. Use your better
But
judgment.
you're
Yeah.
getting, but you're
And
getting
if you
played
start
for
getting
it.
bad advice from a preacher, find a second person to sit there and yeah, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's my advice. Find multiple people that you can. That's what I do in my fandom. I try and find other people that I could be like, hey, is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to make the right decision. I know I fuck up, so yeah.
And then you have an
I
angry
was-
rouge in your DM.
An angry rouge has appeared in your DMs.
Indeed. So
No, I was just saying that what you said was straight up.
okay, gracias. Is there anything else that we have to cover with the beta?
No, that's it.
All right,
I mean,
all
I'm
right.
still probably going to keep my eye on the situation on Twitter and see how it evolves, but I'm pretty well satisfied with all the information for now.
Yes,
Let's be fair, Coyote. It's devolves.
the
Well, that's true. It's the furry fandom. I mean, we go from humans down to like animals. I mean, we just got to see exactly how far down we go. Like, eventually we'll get to amoebas.
the plot thins. All right, so I'd like to thank you for coming out, Beta. If you get, if you have a situation like these, or this again, or if you know of any predators that you wish to pass along that we could look into, I guess we will be around.
all right, yeah.
All right, have a nice day. Be in touch. Feel free to contact me on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah,
Godspeed.
you too.
All right. What do you guys think in the chat? Yes, they are both 17.
I think they both fucked up and both made mistakes. I don't think it's
That-
worth like completely canceling either one over, but
That was
I don't. was anybody ever really saying we should cancel either of them?
No.
I think everyone was always in agreement.
Let's see
with
you
that.
pronounce
Yeah,
my
my
one sec super chat. I have to finally get to these. Joy K musical. Did I get it? Jolk? Jolk.
Jolka. I don't know.
It's Jolko musical, but the musical part's misspelled. So
Oh, okay. Musica.
Yokel.
anyway, my stance. I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. I think both of them fucked up. I think Ink fucked up way worse, but I don't think there was any serious malicious intent. But I do think both of them, for their fuck-ups, should be held accountable, even if only socially. And to the person fucking white knighting in the chat, go fuck yourself. They're not equal, and if you think they are, you're fucking stupid.
Well,
I think they were equally stupid.
I mean, I think they're both dumb kids.
I think they were both equally stupid, but in severity of how extreme they were, one is clearly worse than the other, and that was Ink's.
Oh, legally, I think they'd both be up Schitt's Creek about the same amount.
No, Anthony's right. They'd both be up Schitt's Creek.
Yes.
And the fact is I started using
I'm not
terms
talking legally.
Okay. Well.
And Anthony, I was starting to use terms like the blackmail and the coercion and everything. Because I wanted them to get the severity of it into their head, so maybe it would help them not make that mistake in the future.
Again, in the future, just for your own protection, just say it is likely or potentially, to my understanding, before.
I'm willing to take my chances.
Okay.
If anybody wants, because I feel pretty confident in my assessment.
No, I do think that you're pretty spot on, but I'm just kind of hardwired after having enough paralegal classes to know. Yeah, don't dispense fucking legal advice all willy nilly like.
I just chalk it the situation down to we'll wait and see what happens.
I don't think I followed either one, so I'm sure that someone will inevitably bring me this stuff about. Yeah, hopefully, I look forward to it to being something dumb where I can't be bothered. I really like there'll be no update, and you'll see a screen cap of Anthony going, "I don't care." Hopefully,
1 week from now we're gonna have a sit down, and it's to be like, "Okay, Cloudy, you told me this was the last of this shit, and here we are again."
Oh, Jesus. I feel it's more complex, and it was simpler than I thought it would be at the same time. Maybe ? I don't know. That's the tired talking.
I mean, if we would have had everything at once, I think it would have been simpler. But we got it piecemeal. And what were you going to say, Rouge?
I don't remember.
I'm sorry.
Anthony's been wearing off on everyone today.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sucking the youth out of you assholes.
This was a consensus coming from multiple different viewpoints. It was inherently going to be chaotic from the start.
Both of their parents failed to keep them safe. Again, I do think that kids should probably go to their parent. I don't think they're going to. There's no way.
Those kids need to get some time off the internet.
Here's the whole thing. Yeah, yes, I see you, Beta. If you were really concerned about this whole thing, you would have gone to your parents instead of your friends. And I know that's really hard to do. I was trying to make sure that I was giving Beta a fair shake. I'd have tipped you, but yeah, I wouldn't let me pay so. Oh, no, you're fine, Beta. You don't have to tip me. It's perfectly all right. Leave an upvote. I was eating a Polylos. Oh, cool. Northern Zimbabwe dollars. They'll both be 18 soon. That'll fuck up again. Well, when they're 18 and they're passing nudes back and forth, as far as I know, that will probably be legal if they're both 18 at the same time. And from what I understand, the other guy doesn't want anything to do with this. So,
those beautiful Zimbabwe dollars.
I love them. I cherish them so.
They're not Zimbabwe. They're from North Korea, I think.
Zimbabwe.
Your mom's from Zimbabwe.
No,
Kim Jong-un cat.
I mean, that's just the thing about going to your parents. I don't think either one went to the parents anyways because of the fact of, hey, I draw porn. Hey, I was trying to commission porn. It's just something is me remembering.
Oh yeah, no, I
wouldn't have done.
So, Mom, I know I'm 17, but I totally got this blah, blah, blah that's not legal. Yeah, and you know what they would do? They would rip you offline. And you know what? As far as we're concerned, what's the downside? Yeah, no.
I don't rip into Beta.
No, I know. I mean that for both of them. Maybe next time, be super more Lucy Johnson. Toss a coin to your finger. Okay, thank you, sir.
I mean, I'm still standing by the statement that I think what Ink did was just objectively worse. What they did, both of them what they did was wrong.
Beta.
Ink was worse.
Well,
I'm not gonna shy away from that. And if you want to argue legalism, that's fine. I'm sure there are plenty of other charges we can start exploring if we get a legal expert. I'm talking simply out of moral optics and all this shit.
Right,
I think what Ink did was worse.
All right.
no,
so,
like, oh, go ahead, Anthony.
well, here I'll put it to you this way: if given the chance, if Beta had the same position, I don't think they'd fuck up in the same way, but I still think it would be spectacular.
Well, it can kind of be argued that Beta did have the same position in a sense because, you know, he turned around and was like, "Oh, hey, I will, you know, help smooth over the situation if you help me with something." It was kind of similar in a vein.
Yeah, but at the same time, hold on. I actually want to address that. At the same time, even though they were in the same position, what they asked, what they proposed, wasn't going to put anyone on the sex offenders registry if they went through with it.
Oh no,
Yeah,
you're right about that.
I mean, I was just gonna say, just from my eyes, it looks more like the guy just couldn't take the heat and he just wanted to cut a deal.
As for that deal, I think that reaffirms my remark about so if I did speak, hint hint, that's how I understood it, and based off of, yeah, I think he was kind of like, you know, testing the waters, and the guy basically let him know, you know, hey, if you're gonna strong arm me, be prepared. Was any of that appropriate at all? No. It was all one giant shit show.
I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think it was just, you know, them both puffing up their chests to see who would blink first, you know?
Yeah, I think Gilda got that. That's exactly what I was thinking. And I'll say this aside to Ink's friends. If you're not going to rein him in, you want to put some distance between you and him, because that's going to be a spicy meatball if that crashes and burns. You definitely want to keep an eye on him if you're going to stay in him in your circle. Which, you know what, he might be completely clean from now on. Might be the easiest job in the world. You might have to not do anything, just like check in and be like, hey, is everything fine? Not any disasters going down? Okay, cool. We've had to do it before.
Anyway, if I'm good, if there's something else.
All right, yeah, I'll hit stop. All right, I had a wonderful time. Thank you, Coyote, for coming out. Gilded, Hateful, Rouge. I got a little heated with Monsters because of the misunderstanding there. Yeah, no, I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was like, don't you start shit with Monsters. I will backhand you.
I was like, oh, I was like, this is, I don't like where this is going.
One is an angel.
It felt like there was some really weird goalposts being moved, but I'm like, this isn't what Okay, yeah. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Godspeed.